Good morning, everybody in Canada, Windsor, or the world. We're here down at the river in Windsor at the waterfront Dieppe Gardens, and today is the 1 million March for Children. Now, just to give a quick recap, this event is specifically for parents and anyone who supports parents or parenting, that the parents have the number one authority or right in their child's life to know what's going on. There's been policy that's been quietly in some areas and loudly in others. Either way, it's been put into place that children are under the guise of protection. They're protected by teachers, the school officials from disclosing information. So as they educate, indoctrinate things of soji, sexual orientation, gender identity, as they teach these things, obviously there'll be discussions in school and seeds will be planted. They want your children to be able to come to them knowing that you as a parent might not agree. It does not mean as a parent you don't like or love your child, but just like if your child decided they thought smoking would be a great idea, a great lifestyle for them, it looks really good, it can open doors and avenues in their life, that's their stance. We as a parent would brush up against that with love and say, this could affect you going down the road later in life. You might not see some of the possible outcomes, but the school board, along with some or a lot of the educators within there, are protecting under the guise of policy that they can hide this information from parents. As this seed within the school and the child grows to the point where they make changes that can never be taken back. And that alone right there is a major problem. With me here, I have Pastor Armstrong of Windsor, who was on our podcast about 2 weeks ago, and he had to leave right away, actually, to put his kids to bed, which I can understand. So just to give a recap here, or to let us know, what are you doing here, and what's your
Well,
feeling about
look,
this?
as you're talking, all I can think about is tattoos, right? And I'm thinking, kids don't just go out and get tattoos. If the school boards were secretly tattooing children, there'd be an uproar. You'd have more than 1 million people out here of all stripes, of all life choices and styles.
Devil's advocate, it's okay. It's a rainbow tattoo, so it's okay.
Well, look, a tattoo can be removed still, right? It's not permanent. This gender stuff can become permanent. And we are discipling children in doing really not only mentally damaging things, but physically damaging things, things that can't be reversed. So yeah, if we're not, I mean, it's madness. If you're not going to tattoo, if you're not going to let the schools tattoo your kids, how are you going to let them indoctrinate them into thinking they're something they're not? And so look, I homeschool my kids, obviously. I'm not sending them to this gong show of a system. However, for those who do have their kids in public school who are against this, which I'm guessing are a lot of these folks here, I want to just stand with them and have their back and say, look, you know, I love my kids and I love your kids. And I don't want just because my kids aren't getting indoctrinated doesn't mean I don't care that yours are. And I want all kids to be safe because Jesus said, let all the children come to me, not a few. So that's why I'm here.
Let me address some of the comments of like Dan McDonald and AM 800 in general. On the way here, they're taking people that text in or message with particular comments and lumping what might be true with misinformation. So they're saying parents or people who are against some of the curriculum are bigots, right? The ones that say they don't want certain indoctrinational teaching of sexuality within the school. They believe that policy has been put online and everyone knows and it's clear and there is nothing wrong. But there is. There's a lot wrong with the curriculum, and we can't allow these advocates who are guised as teachers to be spending the entire day not teaching math, not teaching arithmetic, not teaching science and English, but teaching or talking about their personal lives and antiquating that to education. It's not. We have to get back to what education is so we can uplift our children, all of them, not disparage any of them, but there's a time and place for everything. And sexuality is not to be in schools, especially with the little ones. So it looks like they're doing a prayer beforehand. There's a lot of people here already. Leave our kids alone.
Leave our kids alone. I'm good. I'm Carla Rupert. This is John.
Hi, Carla. Hi, John. How you doing?
Meet you finally.
Nice to meet you.
Our children.
Oh, welcome. Hi. Hi, children. Are you guys not in school today, obviously?
Right.
What's
This is a little more important.
That wasn't a very hard sell.
It is.
No,
So,
not hard.
your parents with children in the public sector? Okay, and what's your opinion on when the people of the school board or people on the other side of the ideological fence are saying you, the children per se, or you as parents are bigots for not agreeing with their side of it? Do you
For them to be calling us bigots, I think they need to turn around and have a look at what they're saying.
no, we can't.
We're the parents. We make them. We create them. We don't have that right. It's our right to waste.
Exactly. I don't want to make another point here. When I was in school and when I was in many different collegiate schools, like a Van Wilder style, I took many different things in college. But what I found in a lot of the programs I took when it dealt with children and the educational process, educational assistant, PSW, all those courses, it seemed that when children were being faced with behavioral or mental issues, there are certain substances that counselors, doctors are willing to provide, Ritalin amongst one of them, right? So these psychotropic drugs, these SSRI drugs that affect the functionality of the brain, and with children, these are not disputed. As children's brains are developing and growing, these chemicals that are introduced to change their behavior while in school, it also changes their developing brain as they grow. So the end result of a 22, 25-year-old would be different with, if you could do a case study with or without the SSRI drugs provided. Either way, I believe to this day, parents are still involved with that decision on if children need to be or should be, by their recommendation, put on SSRI, serotonin reuptake inhibitor drugs. Why is it that when it comes to sexual orientation, we are now, when I say we, I mean our society, our board, we're supporting providing chemicals, providing drugs, besides surgeries as well, but drugs in order to alter these children's lives forever. It will alter their brain pattern, their neural pathways will be changed, will be different than what it would have been had they not taken these hormone changing drugs. So why is one okay now and one still has to have parental consent, parental involvement? And you can think of many, many examples that we can throw into the mix with this. Sending kids to war, drinking, all these different parameters that we have age limits on. And we have age limits because everybody, for the most part, can understand that children, young adults, make bad decisions because they don't have a full scope of the world and how things work, how things can be manipulated.
Hi, everybody.
How the
How's
mind
it
can be
going?
manipulated. But on that note, it started.
Thank you so much for coming out. This event started in Newfoundland this morning, about an hour ago. So now we're going to kick off our leg here. I'm very appreciative. This was brought to my attention back in September last year, and I'm a Christian man, and it's just amazing how God works to have this many people out here. We did something like this on June 9th, and I'm just overwhelmed. I won't try to cry because I'm a big sobby baby. So thank you again all for coming out. We're here for our rights to parent our children. We don't co-parent with the government. We're here. I got involved and started Parents for Parents' Rights for a policy that needs to be amended. Thank God that New Brunswick started the way. It is absolutely wrong to keep secrets from parents. The secret policy, I understand why they made it, is for protection for the child. But that child, if you follow it through, so that child goes to the teacher, says he's not safe to tell his parents. So he's got bad parents, right? So they keep a secret at school. So 30 kids in the class know now. They have an assembly. Now 500 kids know. How is that still a secret? So now that kid that's going to get their butt whooped is at home, and a kid's walking by, one of the 500 kids or even just the 30 kids, and addresses him by her or the pronouns, right? Which everybody deserves to be what they want to be. That's not what we're about. And that parent beats that child, and hopefully that child lives through that. This policy fails that child, and that's what we were about. This policy needs an amendment to that policy to protect the children. So on that note, I would just like to say again, thank you so much for coming out here. If I could get Imam Abdullah up here.
We have to thank our Muslims.
Yeah.
Yep, thank the Muslim people for doing that.
Yeah, if you want to say that.
So, guys, we have some counter protesters in the back that have joined us. We'd appreciate it if some of you wouldn't mind going to create a human line, because we have the children's activities at the back, just to keep them safe from that. Just keep your back face this way. Don't engage with them, please. Just so there's a line between us or the kids and them. I know it's no.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. I would just like to say thank you to this fine gentleman here, my brother from another mother. And this man is amazing, as many of you know. He's one of the first imams that I reached out to and had the privilege from a lady named Maysam to do this alignment way back. I think it was May. So I'll introduce him. I won't get into too much, but thank you very much, brother. God bless you. Oh, sorry. This is the Imam of Haljira Mosque on Howard, and he's the chairman of the Imams Council of Windsor, serving the community since October 1984. So we will give him the stage now. If you'd like to sit, go up there, you go up there. Here, I'll show you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, most merciful. I greet you all with a greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. Look at these beautiful faces today here, coming early morning for a noble cause, for a noble goal, which is our young ones. Who are they practicing against them a wicked political plan that will never be passed when we see millions of the Canadian opposing this. Let me start after I greet every one of you, admire every one of you, respect every one of you, to start with the saying from the Quran, which goes with the spirit of all the books that God sent through all the prophets and messengers. God said, يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Means, oh people, no distinction between Muslims or Christian or Jews or anyone. Oh mankind, we have created you from single male and single female. The goal, in order to know each other, to work together, to respect one another, to live together as one nation under the umbrella of morality, under the umbrella of faith, under the umbrella of respect, under the umbrella of unity. So we are here today to express our feeling, to express what we believe in. That this verse that I mentioned to you, it tells us clearly from single male and female. Otherwise, we will never exist. We will not be here. We will not be human being living in this part of the world. God, when he created Adam, he doesn't create another Adam. Or when he created Eve, was not another Eve. Adam and Eve. No Adam and Adam. No Eve and Eve. Will remain Adam and Eve. So our, gathering today to say to ourselves, to say to everyone that we have the right, the full right, to take care of our beloved ones. Our children are our blood. Our children are our hearts. Our children are our souls. We will never be able to live without them. They are our life. Without them, we have no life. So the question is remain here. Who is the most one love our children? Is the public school, the teacher in the public school, or our government? We are the ones we live for them, for the sake of them. The job of the teachers in the public school to teach math and science, to teach English language and social studies, to teach other science here and there. But they are not there to teach our children faith. They are not in the school there to teach our children morality. They are not there to teach them their life, how to live. This is the job of our the fathers, the legit fathers and mothers. And no one in the earth can take this right from us, ever. We say to our government, local government, provincial government, federal government, and we say to the also local, the Board of Education of Windsor, the Board of Education in every city in Canada, the Ministry of Education, you must provide safety for our children at the public school. You must provide security for them. How come our children, when they go to the washroom, they wonder what they are going to face there? He or she. I don't understand why you are putting fear in the hearts of our young ones, the innocent, even when they go to the washroom, to that little things. Who did this? Why we are changing this beautiful society that based on good characteristics, good morals, good faith? Why you are going to play in the mind of the innocent of those children? You have no right. You will never have the right. They are living among us. They live in our house. We love them more than anybody else. Nobody can claim in this universe from country to country and claim that they have more love to our children. I conclude. I am not going to be longer talking here. There is many of us, they have to express their feeling today. I pray and ask God, the one who created the universe, who created us from different walks of life, with different colors, with different races, that to unite us, unite our hearts, all together, working together for the sake of our community, for the sake of our country, Canada, that we have to take care of our society because we live here. We have to live in peace and harmony with our own beloved ones and stop that wicked political plan against them. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I ask God to bless you all, to bless those organizing this beautiful gathering this morning. I thank you for listening to me, and I greet you again with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you so much, Imam Abdullah. I really, really appreciate your passion for Allah, God. It's just amazing. And thank you again to all these people here. No more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets. Next up here is a Christian brother that I found through this journey too. He's an attendee at Harvest Church, and he's a very passionate man of God. He's like me. Everybody deserves full human rights. At the end of the day, you can only be responsible for yourself. But when you're a parent, those children are given you from God, and that's our duty to make sure that we protect our children and walk with our children no matter what way they want to walk. Yes, children deserve rights too, but we're their nurturers and carers. So on that, saying that, thank you, Jeremy Polko.
All right. Thanks, Elton. Awesome crowd today. This is amazing. Good spot to be today. many thanks to the team hosting us today. So let's first give some thanks. So just I'll get through it, then you can maybe give them a hand. In planning, we have Sherry, Deb, Patsy, Tammy, Shelby, Tina, Sam, Robin, and Brian. On security, Eric Jr. and Jake. In food, we have Prince House, Tiffany, and Andre. So yeah, if you want to give them a hand, these guys have done the hard work of getting this together today. And to Elton for his ambition and initiative in defending the innocence of children and spurring action in our community. So the man's done some heavy lifting, so good job, Elton. As well, we need to give a special shout out to the men and women in uniform today who are here. We thank you for your presence and really grateful that we know you're keeping both sides safe, and we appreciate that. We believe in freedom of expression, counter protesters as well. Right now we got the mic, and we just pray that that this message comes through loud and clear. So thank you to the police. And of course, for your presence, for taking the time out of your day to show support. Otherwise, it wouldn't be much of an event. So this matters, you know, so the drone's got something to take a picture of, right? You guys are all here for a reason. And most of all, I'd like to thank God for this unity, the freedom, and a beautiful day that we have to show true love to one of the greatest treasures life has to offer, children. So, on that note, this is great. Not that kids are out of school, especially not for the reasons why, but because we who are here recognize that there is something more important than school attendance today. It is the health and well-being of children. Parents are the ones who set good boundaries for their children to live in and by. Kids are incapable of setting those boundaries themselves. That's why God gave them a dad and a mom. Go parents. So on that note then, candy for breakfast, pop instead of water, late school nights, drugs, alcohol, power tools, and heavy machinery are all a few things kids ought to stay away from. And parents are by far primarily the ones who guide them in the way they should go. This fact is recognized by the Ontario Education Act and the Ontario Parental Responsibility Act. But more importantly, the fifth commandment says to honor your father and your mother, not a trustee, not an administrator, not anybody else. School boards, teachers, and staff can, and they do contribute, but they don't directly live the daily and year-to-year diligence in the health and safety of children. Parents do. So what if little Johnny or little Susie says they identify as a crane operator? Should they be allowed to start working on the Gordie Howe Bridge just down the river? I mean, in their little minds, they think they may be capable to do the job, but we all know we'd be setting them up for catastrophic failure by supporting such a delusion. So of course we wouldn't support such a ridiculous proposal. That's an absurd way to raise a child. But somehow we're told to hand over the massive responsibility of the sexuality of children to themselves and the groomer crowd who want to drive them into gender dysphoria, challenge them on whether they're a boy or a girl, steer them toward choosing from a silly array of confusing pronouns, and even consider drug therapies and permanent surgical procedures that would wreck them for life. So SOGI, which stands for Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity, is an acronym I wish I never existed, as it is the one that is at ground zero of the war on our next generations. It is jaw-dropping to me the absurd conversations we are having these days in our culture, especially around this issue. Hopefully today we will help break through what appears to be cold hearts and seared consciences of the trustees within our school boards. We have only 2 trustees locally we know to understand that kids are not pawns in this sinister game of gender identity politics. Parents and their allies are the ones who would be there to pick up the pieces in the aftermath of these SOGI attacks on kids. So respect our authority and listen to us. Those in the education system, and sometimes even us, we too easily forget trustees are elected with salaries paid by taxpayers who are the Ontario public. They are accountable too. They work for us. To the trustees, you need to exercise integrity and stop breaking the laws and guidelines you signed up for and committed to upholding. So some may think, geez, that's heavy, but serious offenses and violations call for serious language and deterrence. The real controversy we know is adults who want to give kids open access and promote the use of health-destroying puberty blockers, hormone therapies, bodily mutilation, along with obscene, degenerate books, all while intentionally keeping these secrets from parents. Yeah, that's right, no. Going down that road leads to outcomes that are tragically 0% reversible and 100% regrettable. Let's be crystal clear. That is what's crazy, hateful, and harmful. These groomer enablers torture language to try to make their point stick. Hate, safe, inclusive, diverse, justice, etc. These are all words they redefine for their corrupt purposes. Meanwhile, they apparently don't realize they are hating, endangering, and excluding kids and parents with their soji crap. Lying to children about drugs and surgeries is not loving. That is hateful. There is no data to support such sick recklessness, but there are plenty of cases as reasons to say no to such destructive practices. Where is the justice when a woke education system drives a young person to cause permanent damage to themselves? Then the people in that broken system walk away bearing no responsibility for being instrumental in causing destruction to the child who was entrusted to them, all the while ignoring the pleas of parents to stop indoctrinating children and poisoning their young minds and hearts. The arrogance and ignorance is so ingrained in the gender confusers that they are effectively calling parents hateful towards their own children because they choose to keep their children away from minor sexualizing adults. So what? Yeah, well, it is a deeply twisted manipulation of the facts. Kids are not to be used and abused to make special interest groups feel good about their adult lifestyle decisions. How desperate for affirmation does a person have to be to coerce and force children to be conscripted in their gender identity politics war on morality and good common sense? Super desperate's right. Children need adult protection of their innocence. They don't need adult pollution of their sexuality. So one more time for those slow on the uptake, children need adult protection of their innocence. They don't need adult pollution of their sexuality. The latter is actually immoral and often illegal. And no so-called inclusive affirming curriculum changes that. Schools don't get a pass on warping the minds of our little ones. If any of those trustees were to present the smut used in the sexual education curriculum used today, that they support and promote somewhere other than in school, right? So if they're doing this somewhere, say here, a public place or space, a playground, a park, or a picnic area, I would expect them to be arrested for sexual abuse and exploitation of children. We need laws against such atrocities in our schools. Political sound bites fall way short. Elected representatives need to do their jobs and legislate for parents and against woke activist boards and administrators. How dare any of these autocrats in institution, governments, or otherwise attempt to usurp the rightful role of a parent and get between a child and his or her mom and dad with nasty, life-altering secrets? How dare they?
No secret!
You would have to be out of your mind, yet here we are. That's exactly what's happening. Do you know what the side of the groomers call our message in defending the innocence of children? They call it, quote, parental rights rhetoric. Yeah, it is laughable and it's sad. Perhaps that should be expected from a group that refers to each other as comrades and co-conspirator allies. And how fitting are those references for them and their obsession with state-funded woke theocracy? I think we'll all take a hard pass on that. So hopefully today these depraved autocrats get the message loud and clear, and that trustees and administrators targeting minors realize that they need not go along with this stupidity. You don't have to. You can stop now. Educate, don't indoctrinate. Despite the insanity in our schools, many concerned yet hopeful parents and citizens desire to partner with the trustees, including yours truly. However, that is conditional upon them coming to their senses. I mean, please, with all due respect, go have a quick meeting with Captain Obvious and get some of the basics down. We actually know what a woman is. Chromosomes, hormones, skeletal structure, muscularity, how you talk, the way you walk, your mannerisms, and all the unique features and processes for us to be fruitful and multiply, all clearly combine to indicate boy or girl, man or woman. Thinking and feeling, no matter how intense, deep, and profound, doesn't change scientific biological fact, and it is cruel to introduce confusion to children about who they are while they are developing so quickly and in so many ways during such a tender time in their lives. So, not to bring the party down, but we've even had our federal government state the reason we're standing for the protection of children's innocence is because of the influence of our friends in the United States. That's offensive. Trudeau, aka just inflation or just indoctrination, even went so far as to criticize and said to stand against provincial changes to gender identity policies intended to prevent keeping secrets from parents. How utterly disrespectful and a weak attempt at trying to sow division. It seems like a repeating pattern with him. Hopefully he doesn't mind the pronoun. So parental love, caring, nurturing, and protecting knows no borders, no property lines, and no stupid, divisive attempts by politicking tyrants. We don't take our marching orders from anti-Canadian parent haters, Mr. Trudeau. And for that matter, from any of your co-conspirators against parents and children. In all this conflict, some may think, I'll stay home, post on social media, perhaps discuss privately at church, hoping for intervention, or have a long phone call about how screwed up this world is. That's fine. A good rant is necessary to vent on occasion. And discussion, especially with prayer, is always appropriate and essential. However, at the end of each of those, we ought to sense a spurring to action. Just like you are doing right now. Love God, love people. That greatest commandment summary requires action to help those in need, like kids targeted by groomer, school board trustees, and administrators. As in Matthew 19:14, but Jesus said, let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for to such belongs the kingdom of heaven. Our government, school boards, administrators, and dark side of the media are doing exactly what they ought to never do. They are working to hinder children from living a righteous life. Stand up and speak up, Windsor, Essex, and all kid-carrying people everywhere. We must be the voice of reason. Take what you know to be true at home, at church, or place of worship outside those walls to help transform a dangerous culture into one that loves kids and does not hinder their childhood with dark secrets being kept from their parents, but instead shields them from harm and nurtures a sound mind and a compassionate heart. This is the continuation of a strong start towards restoring rightful culture within our Canadian society. To all here locally and all Canadians, heads up and eyes forward. Let's charge this hill, which is the defense against the attack on our children's innocence and sexuality, and fight the good fight that, God willing, when won, we will restore to our land the wonderful blessing it is when kids can just be kids. God bless you and God bless Canada. I'll see you out there.
Thank you, Mr. Jeremy Polko, for your words. Again, I'm looking for Pastor Tobias. If you can make your way to the stage, Pastor Tobias. Again, no more secrets. It's time to let families do what they're supposed to do and raise their children without government overreach, and for the rights to a family to live the way a family does. We're not saying another family can't live another way. That's between them and their family. We just want the rights to our family. So again, no more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets.
No more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets.
And I would just like to say a word before Pastor Tobias talks. Apostle Henry, for those that you don't know, Apostle Henry Hildebrandt, he's from the Church of God in Elmer. Pastor Tobias is from the Church of God in Leamington. But Apostle Henry Hildebrandt heard about a story that happened on at Northwood Public School, and he made a video praising those children. And you know what? Those children were in grade 6, and how dare a teacher in a French class, when they say you can opt out of this curriculum, how is your lifestyle or telling people that they're bigots your job in a French class? Your job in a French class is to teach French and leave your personal political beliefs out, which I can live with. Again, we don't want competing human rights. Everybody deserves human rights. Thank you very much, and go Pastor Tobias.
Greetings, everyone here in Windsor, Ontario. This is a beautiful sight right here. We've come together as one human family to stand for the rights of our children. As I look out into the crowd, I see Christians, I see Muslims, I see black, I see white. But really what I see through it all is one human family that God has created. And He has created them, like the Imam said so beautifully before, He has created them using Adam and Eve. That's the main fundamental basics of our society. Our children and the love for our children has brought us together here. And I'm proud of everyone that has come out, because something rose up in you when you saw what's going on in the public schools, when you saw the sexualization of our children. You say, I can no longer bow to this, and I'm going to stand against it. And good for you for doing that. Let me tell you, long before there was a government, long before there was a public school system, long before there was an education system, long before any of these laws existed, there was God. And at the beginning of all time, God created male and female. It blows my mind when I think how this has been an established fact for thousands of years. And now somehow a little frail mind in some of our politicians comes up and says, I think we can change this. it blows my mind. It's unrealistic and it's unheard of and it's not going to stand by God. Let me ask you this. Who were our children entrusted to? I'm a parent myself. I got 3 beautiful children. The oldest one is just in 2nd grade, and the youngest one is just over a year. And it's a miracle every time a baby is born. I don't know what it does to you parents, but it brings a certain fear on me. It's a little gift that God Almighty in heaven has given to us as parents, has entrusted us. And we have, maybe in ignorance, but thank God we've woken up to it now, maybe in ignorance, we've entrusted that care to a wicked public school system. We as parents have the responsibility to educate our children. And I get it, we want to do the best for them. We want them to learn well. We want them to be well educated. But we got to be careful who we trust our children with. Not everyone has your child's best interest at heart. Most of them want to pervert them, want to make them very flexible towards the government's next agenda. They want to educate them and indoctrinate them so that they won't stand against them as they push more and more evil on this world. It's a godless system, and it's an evil system. Now is the time that we take back and say no more. You've done enough harm to our children. And I say our children. We have lost the times where parents looked out for each other, where they were like, I'm caring about my child, but I love my neighbors so much, I'm going to care about their children too. These are our children, they're doing it too. Martin Luther King Jr. said, whatever affects one indirectly affects all indirectly. What they're doing to your children affects me. What they're doing to my children affects you. We are one. And Malcolm X said, a man who stands for nothing will fall for everything. It's time we stand for something. And you know what? There's no worthier cause than to stand for our children, the most vulnerable. When you hear what's going on, when you hear the agenda that's being pushed, you as a parent, something needs to rise up in you and say, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, I won't allow this to happen to my child. We as the parents have the rights to choose how our children are educated. There is no board out there that supersedes your rights, parents. The weaponization of tax dollars on our children needs to stop. You are paying for their education. You have the right to demand they be taught right. There's an amazing book I've read just recently. It's called Hustlin' Backwards. And the author, Stephen P. Hargrave, who I know personally, is an amazing mentor of me. He said some amazing statements that I just want to briefly read, and I'll be done right shortly. He said, civil governments withhold rights from their citizens, which nature and humanity demand. Civil governments extend rights to their citizens, which nature and humanity do not. Civil governments grant rights which transgress humanity. Those rights that they grant transgress the very humanity, while removing human rights in the name of civility. Our children were given to us by God, and we must stand for them. Finally, our message to Mr. Trudeau, anybody out there that wants to put their hands on our children, we say, leave our children alone. They are not your children, never will be. I appreciate you all coming out. God bless you all. Let's keep on standing. Let's not make this a one-time stand, but go from here and have that determination in you that you won't allow an evil, godless government to pervert your children. They are the next generation that will carry on humanity. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Tobias. Thank you very much. The next gentleman up is speaking on behalf of a great man. He's a great man too, also, that's going to be speaking. But the second person in leadership in the Muslim community that I met was Imam Sharara of Imam Hussein Mosque. Very, very, very great people. Iman and Abdullah and Imam Sharara are helping me go through the Quran to read, and I can't believe the similarities. So I just want to go back to saying again, everybody deserves full human rights, but parents deserve the right to parent their child. If there is a breach in the parent-child relationship, there is a third-party mechanism. I suggest the government uses it and enforces it to be used at the school board levels. Again, no more secrets, no more secrets, no more secrets, no more secrets, no more secrets. And on a due, thank you, Imam Naeem is going to do a speech from Imam Sharara, as Imam Sharara is out of the country right now.
I'd like to begin by welcoming everyone and thanking everyone to come here. And also, I want to begin this speech in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. And again, thank you for everyone coming out. And once again, I'm reading this message, translated message from Sheikh Abdul Minam to the community and to everyone. So it states, today our innate nature, our morals, humanity, and shared values bring us together. These values, endorsed by our various religious and diverse ideological and philosophical orientations, form a significant or large part of the Canadian society. This large segment of society, whether present here today or not, carries the same concerns, fears, and objections. Indeed, our rights bring us together, our fear for our children, our families, our community, and we are keen to protect them. This segment is a group within society. There's a lot of feedback. This segment is a group within society, but is the most extensive group and is consistent with human history, its values, and the innate nature upon which it was created. Now we see that in the name of diversity, diversity is suppressed. In the name of freedom, freedoms are stifled. In the name of childhood, childhood is threatened. Propaganda is being created that distorts facts and terminology. It accuses those who are most loving, compassionate, and kind, the parents, when they demand their rights of hatred and the like. We know that Canada is the cradle of freedom and cultural diversity. Again, I'm going to repeat that. We know that Canada is the cradle of freedoms and culture diversity. One more time for those who missed it. We know that Canada is the cradle of freedom and cultural diversity. So how has it come to the point where we cannot preserve our culture, religions, and thoughts? Only because a subsection of society wants to impose its thinking and culture on our entire community and allow directing our children in this particular direction, with almost entirely isolating parents or trying to remove them from their capacity, from their culture and educational roles, attempting to limit the role of parents to just caregiving and financial responsibilities. Who gave educational or political officials the authority of our children? Who gave them this authority? And who has the rights? And who has the right to grant such authority? Elected representatives enacting laws that conflict with their voters' views doesn't make what they legislate right. It makes them untrustworthy of their voters' voices. And staff in the board of enacting laws and programs that conflict with the ethics, religion, and values of students and parents doesn't make them right. It makes them unfit for their roles of this position. And parents no longer feel safe for their children in schools. They feel their inherent rights as fathers and mothers are threatened. Although we emphasize that what is happening is definitely inconsistent with Islam and other monotheistic religion, we as Canadians raise our voices and demand the protection of our children and parents' rights by halting all LGBTQ plus related programs in schools, not introducing topics that are inappropriate for their age and culture, and involving parents in any discussion concerning the cultural behavior, fate of their children. We hope that these demands are not taken out of context or misused, but are taken seriously. Do not sow confusion in the hearts of their children or lead them into a path that parents do not want the children to go through. Thank you, Allah, for your time, and may God reward you all. Thank you. And again, just leave the children alone. That's all we ask.
Sorry, guys. We're having technical difficulties in my brain. Thank you, Imam Naeem. Thank you so much. The next speaker we have up is Aaron Rock, Pastor Aaron Rock. Woo! Again, I just want to reiterate, and I'm going to keep saying it, no more secrets. 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 So, Pastor Aaron, I was trying to get a hold of him for a while. He's a very busy man, very big congregation. And then out of nowhere, he contacted me, and thank you very much, Pastor Aaron. I appreciate everything, and I'll pass the mic over to you, brother.
Well, good morning, my fellow Canadians, men and women who love their country and who love God and who love their children. Well, we've come together today acknowledging that we probably could be doing something else with our time. But we come together today because we want to declare publicly and vehemently that we love our children and grandchildren. We love our children and grandchildren. The Lord has seen fit to bless my wife and I with 5 children. And while I don't look anywhere near old enough, 2 grandbabies already. And we love them. And we want a Canada for them that will recognize truth and reality and will also acknowledge the role of parents in public education. So fundamentally, we're here because we want to say we love our children. And secondly, we will assert till death, that it is the God-given responsibility of parents to raise their children. Now, of course, you know, because you're paying attention to what's going on in the world around us, that we often are accused of hate or discrimination or intolerance. I want to offer 2 responses to that, which have already been alluded to. Number 1, it's actually the loving thing to do to speak the truth. And the incessant allegations of supposed hate that we are exposed to is not only inappropriate, since no human being can judge another human's motives, but it also is symptomatic of a lack of real arguments. Be encouraged. We have the truth on our side. We have the truth on our side scientifically. We have the truth on our side civilizationally. We have the truth on our side religiously. We have the truth on our side historically. And we will not stand idly by while children are lied to about their biology, while social structures, including parental authority, are eroded by the increasing power of the statist totalitarian regime within which we live. We will not stand idly by while God's laws about human identity are mocked or ridiculed, or while Western civilization wholly endorses radical ideologies never before witnessed in Western civilization. And be encouraged, we will win, because we are people of conviction. I want to offer some substance to you this morning. I want to offer 5 reasons to oppose what's happening in our public schools. And unfortunately, it's not just our public schools that are to blame. We heard recently this week it's leaked into our union halls. It's leaked its way into our universities, into corporations, and also media organizations, unfortunately. Here are 5 reasons to oppose what's happening in all these social institutions. And unfortunately, it's even leaked into some of our churches. Number 1, parents, not schools, have ultimate authority over their children. Parents, not schools, have ultimate authority over their children. Teachers are our employees and should never violate parental authority. Keeping secrets from parents is dangerous, and it's a violation of their authority. We will not tolerate it. Secondly, we pay taxes, and boy, do we ever pay taxes. We pay a lot of taxes. We pay taxes on taxes. We pay a lot of taxes, and we pay taxes for things like education, not indoctrination. Our taxes should not be used to indoctrinate children in radical gender ideology. Our taxes should not be used to cut parts off of confused 13 and 14-year-olds in our hospitals. And if public educators continue to indoctrinate our children in this way, here's my prediction. There's going to be a mass exodus from our public educational systems. And it's already happening. Third, children are not, who could argue this point? Children are not mentally or physically mature enough to be exposed to naked people in parades. I mean, what have we come to as a society to permit this? Children are not mentally or physically mature enough to be exposed to diagrams depicting deviant sexual acts between adults. Children are not mentally or physically mature enough to consent to sex changes. We were all teenagers once. It's a confusing time. The last thing you want kids doing is making irreversible decisions to have body parts cut off. And suddenly they're 25 and they're like, that was a really bad idea. How do I reverse it? Well, I'm sorry, it's not reversible. It's immoral, folks, and we have to speak out against it. Fourthly, the minority groups behind the sexualization of our children already have equal rights under law. They already have it. They have seasons and parades dedicated to their ideology. We get it. It's exhausting, but we've heard it over and over and over again. We know where you're at. Please stop pretending that you're discriminated against. Every time someone objects to your views, please stop. Please stop. You do your thing, and you leave our children alone. We've heard you out. We know what you believe. Here's what we believe. Leave our children alone. Leave them alone. Period. Fifthly, I'm an unapologetic follower of the Lord Jesus Christ. And therefore, I have a moral and theological responsibility to speak against lies and destructive ideologies, as Christians have throughout history, especially when they are directed against children. Jesus had something to say about those that would abuse or distract children from the truth. He said they should have a millstone tied around their neck and tossed into the depths of the sea. Now, because the media is here, let me make this clear. I'm not suggesting that we should literally do that. But certainly, God is instructing us that there is a weighty responsibility to stand up for children in the next generation. And he's warning those that would seek to destroy young life that God will judge and deal with you in due time. I'm a Christian, but I'm also delighted to see people of many other religious persuasions here. I'm looking around and this is a good day. Because if we cannot even agree as a civilization, and we all, regardless of race or creed, have a vested interest in protecting our children from irreversible harm, we're done as a nation and civilization. What kind of future could we expect if we cannot even agree that children should be protected from transition surgery and early sexualization? We have none. But together, I want to encourage you, we will win. There's no question about that. We will win. Together, we will not be silenced. Together, let's love our children and love our God by protecting them from harm. And may God truly bless Canada as a result. God bless you all. Hey, guys.
Amen.
We will win. No more secrets. We will win. No more secrets. We will win.
No more secrets. We will win.
No more secrets. Again, everybody, we believe that everybody should have full human rights. We're not anti-LGBTQ. The proper terminology is 2S LGBTQIA+. We're not against your rights to your family. Please give us the rights to our family. There is a center if we can get together. So the next speaker up is Imam Hammam from Imam Hussein Foundation. And I would just like to say thank you, brother. I actually got his number first, but I didn't want to call him until I had a chance to actually meet him in person. So thank you, Imam Hammam.
In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful, greetings to the people of Windsor, and good morning to all of you. I won't take much of your time. Rather, I want to speak for a few minutes and mention two vital points regarding what is taking place these days in Canadian schools and especially in Ontario. As many of us, or all of us know, our children are being taught concepts in school that, according to many, in fact, most parents, are either age inappropriate or contradict common sense or even contradict human nature before they contradict the holy scripts, the script of the Torah of Moses, the Bible of Jesus, and the Quran of Muhammad, peace be upon them all. And we're being told in one way or another, directly or indirectly, by certain movements or groups or individuals, that we as parents do not have the right to intervene in the upbringing of our children. We do not have the right to stop them from learning whatever they're being exposed to in schools. And here I'd like to address these groups or movements or individuals, whoever they may be, and whatever their labels may be. Tell us, are you the ones who brought our children into this world? Or was it us parents who brought them into this world with God's permission? Are you the ones who spent days and weeks and months and years exerting effort and sacrificing your time and energy to raise our kids? Or was it us parents who did so? Are you the ones who worked during the days and maybe even during the nights to properly sustain our children? Or was it us parents who did so? It was us. We're the ones who brought them to this world with God's permission. We are the ones who sacrifice our time and energy to properly raise them. We are the ones who exert effort, endless effort, to properly sustain them. Yet we're being told, again, in one way or another, directly or indirectly, that we should not intervene in the upbringing of our children, and we do not have the right to stop them from learning whatever they're learning in public schools, unfortunately. This is quite unfortunate, very unfortunate. And here, I'd like to refer all of you to a wise saying that was once said by a wise man. In my belief, this man was the embodiment of wisdom. His name was Ali, son of Abi Talib, peace be upon him. To us Shia Muslims, his relationship to the Prophet Muhammad was that of Simon Peter to Jesus, and that of Joshua, son of Nun, to Moses. He said the following word to his son Al-Hassan, and I want you to pay close attention to the word, for he was speaking as a parent. He said, "My son, I found that you were part of me. In fact, I found that you were all of me." I'm going to repeat his word so you may think about it for a few minutes. "My son, I found that you were part of me. In fact, I found that you were all of me, such that if you would be afflicted with a calamity, I would feel as if I am the one who's afflicted with that calamity." Here, Imam Ali, peace be upon him, is reminding us of a reality that any parent whose conscience is alive, any parent whose intellect is alive knows, which is, my child is part of me. In fact, he's a smaller version of me. Thus, it is my responsibility as an intellectual to protect my child from what I believe is harmful. And this brings me to the second and last point without taking much of your time. Some, unfortunately, might ask, why are you rising? Why are you shouting? Why are you protesting? And we tell them, if I, the wise parent, saw that my child was being physically tortured by an individual, wouldn't it be my right to defend my child? Wouldn't it be my right to stop the torture? If this is the case, then why can't I defend my child and protect him from mental torture or psychological torture or spiritual torture? Today we've gathered, and different people across Canada have gathered to protest against what's happening. This is the first million-person march from coast to coast as we, parents, express our concern and demand the government and the school board to make drastic changes to the curriculum and the atmosphere that has been created in public schools. And I promise you that this will not be the last million-person march. It will not be the last million-person march until we see real changes in public schools, until we see that the government and the school board actually change what is taking place. Thank you for your time and have a great day.
Hi, everybody. I just got a special announcement. Somebody's trying to get out of the parking lot, so he's going to explain what the vehicles are around there.
Never expected to be here, but anyway, we're trying to leave, and we're parked this way in the parking lot, and there are a bunch of cars parked in front of us. So if you all would, I don't want to ruin the day. This is beautiful, and I appreciate everybody, but I gotta go. So if you could move your vehicles, that'd be appreciated.
Thank you so much, brother. Hey, everybody. Again, no more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets. We want rights for our family. We want rights for our family. That one's a little harder, eh? So the next speaker we have up here is Samantha Brown. Samantha Brown is a perfect example that we try to say before you reach out to your school board, please look us up, www.parentsrights.ca. I'll let Samantha talk about her issue at the school, but they basically swept it under the rug. So she's here to expose some darkness in the world. And again, we truly believe that everybody has a right to raise their family the way they choose fit. We just want a right to our children. Please, let's find a center to this. Thank you, Samantha.
Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha Brown. I am the Ontario coordinator for WDI Canada. WDI stands for the Women's Declaration International. We are a feminist organization with chapters in 50 countries worldwide. One of our main objectives is fighting against the harms gender ideology has brought upon women, children, and society at large. WDI Canada's leader, Linda Blade, recently had her resolution to give women and girls back our spaces, sports, and titles, and redefine woman as an adult human female, passed at the CPC convention with 87% approval. This is a major step in the right direction for women's rights in Canada, and I could not be prouder. We hear a lot from the media about anyone speaking out against gender ideology being far-right extremists or homophobes. I just would like to say that I am an atheist feminist, and I am here because what is happening in schools is wrong. I would also like to point out that lesbians were among the first people to sound the alarm on gender ideology because they were being called bigots for refusing to include trans-identified males in their dating pools. Today, I will discuss the devastating effects of gender ideology on young girls. For starters, current self-ID laws in Canada allow any man to declare that they are a woman and instantly enter women's spaces. These spaces include women's shelters, prisons, rape crisis centers, public change rooms and washrooms, and yes, school change rooms and washrooms. Last year, when my daughter was 11, she came home from school and informed me that there was an 8th grade male student in the washroom. I asked her how she felt about it, and she said that she was now afraid to go to the washroom alone. The following day, I spoke to her principal. I was told that if she was uncomfortable, there was a single stall gender-neutral space that she could go to. Naturally, I asked why the male student could not be asked to use this washroom. I was told that every student is allowed to choose whichever washroom they feel most comfortable in. I guess this doesn't apply to female students. At this point, it was clear that this was not a safety issue for the male student. The student was already out. There was a separate washroom that they could use if they felt uncomfortable in the boys' room. When I attempted to speak at the school board, I was put off several times, ghosted, and then was told I could not speak at the public meeting. I was invited to speak at their private meeting. It turned out this meant I could talk to them while they ate their dinner. I was ignored, and ultimately I left with most of them barely even looking at me. Our daughters and all women and girls are being used as validation tools. Our girls are not responsible for the feelings of male students. To suggest that they should move over and use a different washroom or change room than the one they have been using all their life is deeply misogynistic and unfair. For women such as myself who have had to heal from sexual violence, taking our single-sex spaces away is a form of torture. I can't imagine dealing with these emotions as a young girl. High school girls are now being forced to change for gym class in front of male students. This is a violation of their privacy and a clear message that their consent is conditional. It turns out that girls no longer have the right to say who they get undressed in front of or who undresses in front of them. If they make their understandable discomfort known, they risk being shamed and called bigots. There have been documented cases of girls being assaulted in school bathrooms in the United States, not to mention the countless cases in Canada and all over the world of predatory men taking advantage of self-ID laws to violate women and girls. Considering that only about 6% of sexual assaults are reported, according to the US Department of Justice, with minors being the least likely to report, I assure you that we have only seen the tip of the iceberg. The main reasons why girls don't report sexual assault is fear that they won't be believed or that they will be blamed. Add to that the fact that the perpetrator is a member of a protected class, and it could cause them to be called a bigot for coming forward, which we have also seen happen, and you've got a recipe for silence. I often ask, how many assaults are too many to justify allowing male students into the girls' spaces to validate their feelings? Why do their feelings matter, but our daughters' feelings don't? Why is it that when males say they feel unsafe in their own single-sex spaces, they're given access to female spaces with no questions asked? And yet, when women say that we are uncomfortable with any male being allowed into our spaces, we're called bigots and fascists. Another major issue that is affecting our girls is the fact that they're now being made to compete against male students in sports. This is blatantly unfair, and we all know it. Show me a person who says that males do not have monumental advantages over women in sports, and I'll show you a liar. Testosterone is not the only factor to consider. Males have larger hearts and lungs, more fast twitch muscles for explosive power, lower body fat, greater upper and lower body strength, stronger grip, larger hands and feet, and are taller on average, to name some of the many advantages. I've heard people say that sports are supposed to be fun, so we should allow these male students to play if it makes them happy. No. There are girls who train day in and day out to compete for places on teams and to better their performance. They deserve fairness and safety in competition. Every reasonable person knows this, and yet males are repeatedly being allowed to compete against females in sports. Lastly, gender ideology is affecting young girls by convincing them that they can become boys. There has been an explosion in young girls as well as boys transitioning. Girls transition for different reasons than boys. Many do so to try to escape pain and sexualization, to fit in with their peer group, to deal with the discomfort and disgust they feel for their changing bodies during puberty. Our kids need to be told that they are perfect just as they are. There is no wrong way to be a boy or a girl. Girls can wear short hair, play sports, reject femininity altogether. They are still girls. The worst part of this is that if your daughter does transition at school, current policies will ensure that you are kept in the dark about her new name, pronouns, and her current state of mental health. We have a duty to fight back against this. Our children are depending on us. If you are a woman and would like to join WDI, go to womensdeclaration.com and sign the declaration. This Saturday, we will be protesting males and women's spaces at the Big Maple Leaf on the corner of Wyandotte and Glengarry. I speak to so many people who agree with everything I've said, but who are too afraid to come and speak with us publicly. If you agree and you're unafraid of woke ideologues, please come out to support women and girls. We need everyone to see that they are not alone in feeling what's happening is wrong. All are welcome, and I hope to see you there. Reality will always win in the end, but we need to force change before more women and children are harmed by this insidious ideology. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. That website, if you didn't hear it, if you go to www.parentsrights.ca, you can get connected with Samantha's foundation. I have Hemam here that was spoke earlier. I'm just going to ask him to speak. What I'm going to say here is the march starts at 11 o'clock when Jeremy Palco comes up. He's going to go over some safety protocols. This is not over after the march. We have Prince House did a bunch of food for halal, and we want to have you guys stay here for lunch and enjoy some time. We have some kid activities too.
للإخوة والأخوات العرب طلب مني الأخ إنه بس ترجم كلامه على الساعة 11 إن شاء الله راح يبلش المشي بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى. وبعد المشي في ظاهر هون برنامج ترفيهي مع طعام مأخوذ من برنس هاوس، ف اللي بيحب يرجع فأهلا وسهلا به.
Thank you, brother. So our next speaker, I hear it at the school board all the time about lived experience. I'll let Scott came here from the United States, and Scott's motto is scream louder, 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 scream louder. Thank you very much, Scott, and thank you to all the families here. Again, everybody deserves full human rights. We're here for our family. The other side thinks that we want their family. We don't. We just want the rights to our family. You have the rights to your family. Please let us have our rights to our family. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. There's a whole bunch of kids behind me that want to come up. Listen, I'm a mom, so, kids, come on up if you want to. That's what we're here for. You guys want on the podium, go ahead. Before I get started on my speech, I want to acknowledge something. Today, we've had Muslim leaders. Thank you for coming. Today, we've had Christian leaders. Thank you for coming. Today, we've had atheist leaders. We've had feminist leaders. I represent the rainbow, and this is how we stop the medicalization of children, is coming together. Thank you. Come on, kids. This is what we're here for, right? Can you guys hear me okay? You guys ready? Kids, you ready? All right. My name's Scott Nugent, and I'm a 50-year-old transgender man, a woman who took synthetic hormones to create an illusion of a male for comfort, a trans man. Seems to be the go-to fascination right now, a trans person. But the most important thing to me are my 3 kids. I'm a mother who's given birth, and I've carried life. I'm here today to put an end to the idea that medically transitioning children is about tolerance, love, and goodness. It is not. It's about perverts and money mongering. At 42, I became engulfed in what I call a huge unicorn fart that is selling to the world the idea that you could change your sex, that it's easy to do, that it cures all that ails you. And we're selling this to children at a time in childhood when even the kids that do fit in, the perfectly attractive, intelligent, athletic, dominant boys, and the gorgeous, intelligent, submissive girls feel awkward and ostracized and alone. And then there are the children like me who really didn't fit. The autistic, the same-sex attracted, the abused, the mentally ill, the musically gifted, the artistically gifted, all the different kids. Hey guys, just a little bit to the, you guys are doing awesome. Just a little bit to the right, there you go. All right. If you have one of these different kids, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You helicopter parent around this child. telling them that they're not weird. They're just different, and different is a superpower. That's right. You see, the acceptance of all human rights, desired of all, echoes for all, has been since the beginning of time. We within the rainbow fought for what I believed were righteous rights, and those rights were the rights to love and live where we wanted to live. In 2015, right? We're not against people having their rights. In 2002, adoption rights were granted to same-sex couples, and I believe this was a righteous right. In 2004, civil partnerships were won, and I believe this was a righteous right. We won all of our rights within the gay and lesbian community. And in 2015, this is where we faltered. This is where we let you down. And this is where we need to pick up and say, we're sorry. Your children are your children. The rainbow belongs nowhere around children, period. Now is the time for gays and lesbians and transgender people like me, all the people that we sit at home at our dinner parties and we're against this ideology. We're against the rainbow being in the school systems. It's time for my people to stand up, apologize, and take our community back and get away from children. Hey guys. A little bit. That's all right. We need to stop pushing puberty blockers, hormones, and surgeries on children and youth. We need to stop telling kids they were born in the wrong body. They are just different. And different is okay. In fact, different is a superpower. We need to start screaming louder that awkward children are being targeted by the new cash cow called transgender health, a series of experimental procedures that have no long-term studies that say it's safe or beneficial. How are we butchering an entire generation of youth in the name of tolerance and acceptance? This is hypocritical. These kids not accepting their bodies, drastically changing their physical appearance through puberty blockers, hormones, and surgery is in itself the act of intolerance. Market research predicts that gender-affirming care will generate more than $5 billion by the end of the decade. The truth is that medical transition is dangerous, it doesn't cure anything, and it causes massive health issues. In fact, there's only 7 studies that have ever said that medically transitioning children are beneficial. But you here in Canada don't know that every single one of those studies has either been retracted with it doesn't help anything, or not enough time, or not enough participants. There's not one study that says it's beneficial. There's only one study that stands the test of time, and it was done in Sweden from 1973 to 2003, and it found that these kids are going to be more suicidal 7 to 10 years after they medically transition. Now that's the truth. If the transition here in Canada, I want you guys to hear me on this. You guys listening? If the current rate of kids that are transitioning right now in Canada, if it stays the same, in 20 years, 16 to 23% of your entire population here in Canada will be transgender without having one single disease. I underwent close to $1 million worth of surgery and hormone therapy to go from Kelly, a trans man, and it almost killed me in the process. In fact, I probably won't live long enough to meet my grandkids because I still get recurring infections. But these enormous side effects are not being told to you here in Canada. In fact, of all the countries that I go to, to speak. Canada is the country that I'm scared of the most. The way Canada is not telling you guys what's going on with all of these medical problems, with all of these procedures, is outrageous. And when I say to scream louder, I mean it. You guys need to scream louder. So here are some facts that the Canadian media is not giving to you. 95% of all medical transition is experimental, except for top surgery, breast augmentation. We have no idea what's going to happen to these kids because it's never been studied. But we do see 19 and 20-year-olds with hearts and lungs the size of 12 and 11-year-olds, never to grow to full maturity. We are seeing these boys that were put on puberty blockers have early onset osteoporosis. We have these girls that are being medically transitioned that have to be on blood thinners for the rest of their lives. We have these children at 19, 20 that have heart conditions, that are sterile, and now they are starting to kill themselves. But you don't see that here in the media. All you see are the unicorn farts and the glitter bombs. The way to stop this, there is no calm, there is no rational, there is no debate. This is a scream louder kind of situation. Here's another little bit of fact that I think that you guys would want to know. In 2003, the manufacturers of puberty blockers, you know the company that says that it's safe and reversible? In 2003 was deemed a criminal enterprise by the US government. Forced to pay $874 million, and they paid it like that. This is a company that cannot pay to have studies on puberty blockers for children, or is it that they know there's not a doctor in the world that would sign on it that it's safe? My only objective here today is to transfer my passion and experience as a trans man, as a lesbian, double quoted on the rainbow, triple. I'm also over 50, so I am the rainbow. We've had Muslims, we've had Christians, we've got the rainbow, we've got feminists. Everybody's here, so you have to listen to the facts, and the facts tell us the medical transition is no place for a child. I want everybody here to talk to your children, your parents, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your neighbors, your coworkers. I want to inspire people to have those difficult conversations. I want you to do your work. Get outside of the Twitter echo chamber. This debate is not political. It's not about human rights. And we need everybody here in Canada to be brave enough to release their own screams in unison for something we all are together, human beings. One colossal scream that medical transition is not for a child, because within this debate, a bigot today is a hero tomorrow. My question for everybody here in the audience is, are you willing to take the heat today to be a hero tomorrow, to save a generation of children? Because our children deserve us to adult better. Okay.
Hey, where's the speaker? Where's the microphone at, guys?
All right, kids, if you could head back to your parents, that'd be great. Be very careful disembarking the stage. Take your time, just be careful. See mom and dad.
Going down.
Thank you. You plug this in?
Thanks, kids.
All right.
That was awesome. Thanks, Scott. Oh, hey, Elton, you need to plug that. 1 sec.
Hello? Hello? Hey, everybody. The march is about to begin. My brother in Christ, Jeremy Polko, is going to go over some safety protocols. Please be kind and respectful. Everybody deserves full human rights. If there is a counter protester to you, just know that we love them too. It's not about who's wrong or right. It's about our right to our families. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, we got a quick one here. If you come up and introduce yourself and just say a piece.
Hello. Do you know what? A few years ago, about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, for 12 years, we used to stand in this same place, hundreds of people preaching the good news. And I'm here as a Christian today. I am so, when there was hundreds, now I see thousands of Muslims, Christians, people from all walks of life that want a safe community. I'm a father of 7, and I have 6 grandkids, in which I'm eternally thankful to God as a gift, as a gift. And I come here not with hate in my speech, but I know this. I have prayed for our government, prayed for our leader, but I know one thing. We continue to pray for them, but it tells me in the Word of God that God raises them up and God sets them down. And I know the Word of God tells me that lies are but for a moment. Say that with me. Lies are but for a moment. But God says that the lip of truth will be established forever. And you know, I think that the Imam said it real good earlier. If you don't stand for something, especially like this, you will fall for anything. How true that is. So we need to send our voice strongly to the parliament and across the waters that what we say, our kids matter and we are responsible for their future and their lives, because we have to give an account of how we raised them. That's the truth. God bless you all. Thank you.
All right, that was great. So one quick announcement here. So coming up this Friday, there is a Save the Children convoy to Toronto. Just want to let everybody know, for anyone interested, the convoy will leave Windsor at 5 a.m. this Friday from the Husky truck stop on Provincial near 401, with one stop at the Convert truck stop at 5:45 a.m. Yes, and then prior to proceeding to Toronto. So if you're interested in that, head to Toronto and keep chatting us up. Oh, and we have one more speaker who's going to give us a quick word.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And hello to all our other religion and the human beings, the beautiful. I can see over here the very, very beautiful rainbow and the beautiful human beings. We are together over here because we are human. We are not animals. Whatever they want to give us, the society of animals, when the human beings, they were in cave age, even for that time, we don't see this kind of stupid activities. We don't have any traces. So at the time, I'm a mother of 5 kids. 5 kids. I'm not here just for my kids. I'm here for the kids of the whole nation and for the kids of the whole world. I ask you, just raise your hands and promise me, we will destroy all those politics who the cold-hearted and the dark-hearted, the dark minds politics who pass this kind of bill. We will destroy their politics. We are not going to elect them. We are not going to elect them. Make your main goal. We want to end this once and forever. Thank you so much.
That was awesome. Love the passion. So, yeah, we talked about the Save the Children convoy. And as far as us here right now, I mean, if you guys are looking around, this is amazing. This is really impressive. Give yourselves a hand. This is super. So I think we were hoping for all of this, and this is great. So, and hopefully all the drones, the CBC, CTV are catching all this. Please report accurately. We appreciate it. So in terms of what us here right now is a large group of people. Obviously, we're eating, we're having fun. There's a little bit of garbage. So just don't leave it on the ground. Let's make sure that we do what we do. As Canadians, we protest very well. So let's keep that streak going. Pick up your garbage. There's garbage pails, I think, by the tents. There's some out in the parking lot. So please clean up. Even if it's not yours, pick it up. We can do that, right? And so regarding our march now, so we're here to be seen and heard, but we're also to remain respectful and peaceful as we take this to the streets. So it's not a race. Walk at a comfortable pace. We'll be walking on the streets. The police will be escorting us in the lane. Don't be deterred or distracted by counter-protesters. Leave them to themselves. They have every right to be here, but they don't belong inside our march, of course. But freedom to express, have at it. And, you know, sometimes those conversations go well. You'd be surprised. I've had a few myself. So please keep children in the middle, close to the parents and guardians, and away from the edges, all right? So just keep your kids close, keep them safe, stay in the lane. Chanting, flags, and signs, etc., all encouraged, without cursing or profaning others. For example, we can chant, leave our kids alone, no secrets, woke is broke, educate, don't indoctrinate. Have at it. It's a large group. We could probably have multiple chants going on at once. It's fine. So be loud, have fun out there. And this is, just realize this fellowship that we're doing right now, I think this is the Canada we need more of. So the route is going to be, we're going to go down, walk through the parking lot to the flag. We're walking up Ouellette. Then we're heading to Park Street. We're going to stop at the school board. That'll be interesting because it's not that big of an area, which is awesome in itself. And then we're coming back down Bruce to Riverside and back here. There's going to be barbecue and activities for the kids. I think there'll be some open mic time. There's a few people who've requested to speak. So by all means, come up here. Again, keep it clean, kids present. But by all means, be passionate and say what you need to say. And along the way, I had an awesome suggestion right here, an awesome reminder. Pray. Pray along the way. Pray wherever you are. Pray unceasingly. That is what's going to help this country change. And so make sure that you keep that in mind. Know why we're here. Be peaceful. Be respectful. And we're going to have a flag, and you're going to know, basically, we're walking that way towards Ouellette, and we're going to make this an awesome time. So before we go, what do you say we sing the national anthem? So after, if that's okay. So we're going to do, after barbecue and activities, there'll be some time. A lot of requests to speak. That's awesome. We need voices, lots of voices. But right now we got Rob Carenza. He's going to sing the national anthem for us, and then we're just going to head out down the parking lot. Now, there was one gentleman who did say he was stuck in the parking lot over here, which is a nice problem to have, but really unfortunate for him trying to get his daughter out of here. So if you're parked along the river here, if you could head to your car and just see if you can help him get out and get where he needs to go if you're parked along at the riverside of this parking lot. But right now, I'm going to hand it over to Rob, and let's sing loud, let's sing proud. Here we go.
Hey, all you beautiful patriots out there. I just got asked to do this, and my voice isn't really warm yet, so I'm going to need everybody's help on this, especially since I'm doing this a cappella. Is everybody ready? All right. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true Lord strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. You guys are awesome.
All right, so let's start the march. If everybody could head down to through the parking lot, we're just gonna start walking and look for the flag. Let's have at it.
37. We wouldn't wait to get to the thing.
Let's see how heavy it is, though, like how we can hold it.
I don't care.
Right? Just pass the flag on the other side. Probably a decent amount of people not walking. Hopefully a lot of people will. Looks like there is a lot. Well, if there's this many, at least 1,000. I didn't get a bird's eye view, but there's at least 1,000 people, I'd say. At least, right here, Windsor. Try that in a small town, if you know what I mean. What's it like in big cities? How many could there be? Actual hundreds of thousands in Toronto, Queen's Park. I'm sure we'll be updated in a little bit. There's people live in every city, I'd imagine. And hopefully we break the internet.
Sorry guys, we're having some technical difficulties. Steve just went to go grab our extra battery pack because we're getting low. As you can see, all of humanity united together for the children. It's a beautiful sight. Hi guys. You're on camera. Woo! Too late, sir. Too late, sir. Too late, sir. There's the woman on the street. There's the undercover marked car. Windsor police keeping the peace, which they don't need to worry about because it's nothing but peaceful protesters or actually just concerned parents. As you can see, there's a few more officers making sure everyone's safe. We appreciate your service.
No, it sounds like a guest that's playing something. Yeah, you give him a shout. Hi. Hello.
Get ready to put this in.
Hmm? It's a typical day at work, eh?
Hey. Good. Sorry, I can't hear you. What? Yes. Yeah, we can, but we're at the end of the parade. Can you wait for us to get there? Okay, we're at pit right now. We'll walk fast. We'll walk fast. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See you soon. Bye. You need your megaphone because they forgot the equipment. It's gonna meet us along the way. I'm gonna try to give me the battery pack. We'll just walk faster, I guess. It is literally beeping. I don't know if that's going on the broadcast.
Somebody's playing something.
Sounds much better now.
You know where we're turning? On Park Street? Blindsided you there. The Truth Trumpet in the house.
Listen all the way in.
Leave our kids alone. Leave our kids alone. Leave our kids alone. Protect the innocent. Protect the innocent. Protect the innocent. Leave our kids alone. Leave our kids alone. Leave our kids alone. Parents have rights. Parents have rights. Parents have rights. We love our children.
No more secrets.
No more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets. No more secrets.
How dare you?
I need to borrow the megaphone. All right, I'll keep it safe, Steven.
Well, we'll go with we'll head with you. That way we get better footage. Oh, I can outrun you, bud. Yep, 100%. That's what we're trying to get. Oh, you're gonna run now with a girl with this. Better wait for us to get there before you speak. I'm trying to get this to work. It's not even working, so I'm sorry. It's not working.
Huh?
It's not working.
Plugged in all the way?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna try to hold this. I'm gonna try to go into my phone and then we're gonna switch.
What do you mean? iPhone, I don't know. Where's the button?
the youth here, right? The children themselves are crying out. From the mouths of babes, we're hearing the truth. They know the reality. They know the truth. They know what they want in school. So do us adults. Give them a hand for those kids. That's awesome. No more secrets. 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 Okay, I got another one for you. I got another one. So, you guys have heard the term woke, right? They're pushing their social justice agenda on us. So, how about we do woke is broke a few times? Sound good? Woke is broke, okay? Woke is broke! 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 All right, awesome. So, one thing I thought would be a pretty cool thing to do. If you... Okay, I'm not sure if anybody can hear me all over there. If we, that's a lot of people to keep quiet, but we're gonna try. So, if we can just keep it down for a bit. One thought I had was, look around, look at all the people here. Okay, it should leave an impression on you, and like Scott said, and based on what he's saying and what he's seen for the past 5 years, I'm going to say Windsor, Essex is representing today. You guys are representing. Good job. This is going to go beyond our borders, and it ought to. This is happening across our country and sadly around the world. But also, we got to say that we got to rejoice in this because this type of unity is what we need. We got to bring it together, and children is definitely a banner we can all gather under. And so let's do this more, let's do it well. So one thing, what I was thinking, for all the people who are here, there's so many people present, can we have a 1-minute moment of silence? So just to yourself, pray. To yourself, think about what else you can do in this fight. How you're going to reach out, how you're going to talk to other people, how you're going to spread the message, because this is impressive, but there are 400,000